Welcome back, everyone, to the Ab Files. I'm your host, Ab, and usually I would be joined by my enigmatic co host, Daniel, of Areas and the Nation. But we're trying something new now. Welcome to the Side Quest, where we'll bring you some interesting stories that we come across, and as always, give with no answers to give. In this episode, I bring you the strange disappearance of a woman named Merrian Lynn Carver. Merrian Lynn lived in Boston, Massachusetts in 2004. She took a vacation cruise on the ship Mercury owned by Celebrity Cruises. In August of the same year, she boarded the vessel in Seattle, Washington on August 27th and was last seen on August 28th by a cabin attendant. The ship made several stops along the way. Well, some of them were in Alaska and in Prince Rupert, British Columbia. The Marian did not disembark in any of those places. The cruise ended on September 3rd when the Mercury docked in Vancouver, British Columbia. It has not been established whether or not she got off the ship then, and she did not board her airplane flight back to Massachusetts and has never been seen or heard from again. Marian's family, who haven't heard from her in weeks, reported her missing on September 7th. They hadn't realized she had gone on a 7-day cruise. The detective investigating her case found out she had gone on a vacation when he accessed her credit card records. Carver's father called a cruise line and was told she had boarded the ship but had disappeared during the cruise, and she had left her personal belongings, including her ID, her purse, clothing, behind in her cabin on the ship when she disappeared. The cruise line did not report Carver's disappearance until they heard from her father. They gave most of her possessions to charity and put her purse, which contained papers, computer disk, and her keys, into storage. The employee who ordered this was subsequently fired, and the cruise line's own regulations states that a passenger absence should be reported to the security office immediately. Subsequent investigation showed that she never used her CPAS on board, which is an onboard credit card, which also serves as identification. She never bought a drink while on board the ship, and she is not recorded as having left the ship on any of its stops, though the ship does not keep records of passengers getting off the ship. For some reason, they don't keep any log books of like people getting off the ship. Carver's parents sued the Celebrity Cruise Company over her disappearance in March of 2005. In response to the lawsuit, cruise officials issued a statement saying they believed Carver committed suicide by jumping overboard. Her cabin is reportedly only a short distance from an open air deck. It's been said that Carver had threatened to harm herself after her divorce several years prior to her disappearance, but her family does not believe she took her own life. But it has been said that it was a nasty divorce and her ex husband had custody of their child. It was also said she went through somewhat of an emotional breakdown. She is described as a vivacious, independent person who enjoys writing poetry. She has work experience as an investment banker, but was unemployed and living off a trust fund and her investments at the time of her disappearance. And Massachusetts and Alaska authorities are investigating Carver's case, which remains unsolved. The litigation against the cruise line is pending. Which, okay, so that's basically the story of what happened. Um, my thing is, why didn't she tell her family or her friends that she was going on a 7-day cruise? To me, that's kind of weird. Maybe she was getting wanted to get away from, I guess, all the a break from life. You know, was she meeting somebody? Did she, nobody knows. So, and when she did disappear, another question I was thinking of: why didn't they check all the passengers' cabins and all the employees who worked on the boat as well? No one seemed to really. I think they went through the passenger. I think it was they went through the passengers' cabins, like just looked through them real quick, but never like detailed search, um, or even like the employees, all the people that worked on the boat. I don't think they looked through their cabins. There was a Someone was saying there was a theory of her being kidnapped off the boat, but again, there was nobody saw her leave the boat, or nobody remembers her leaving the boat. Um, but a, a kind of a red flag for me is when you know that someone's missing off of a boat. How come the captain didn't contact her family right away? You know, he doesn't know that she didn't tell the family that she was going on this cruise, but still, you would think that you would want to contact somebody so they can try to locate this missing person. There's so many questions that um that can be asked, uh, and you know, maybe she wasn't a big drinker, there's she didn't like to drink. um some people just drinking isn't their thing. Uh, so she never got charged for buying, I don't know, margaritas or martinis while she was on the trip, which is fine. But some people find that odd. Maybe she did indulge in like a glass of wine here and there, while she was out, and so they probably thought that was weird that she didn't buy a drink while she was out there. It's a good time. You're letting loose, um, probably meeting new people, and have a drink or two and relax. Apparently never did, unless she bought it with cash, and you know that might be something that wasn't they didn't notice. But then again, on the boat, they're probably telling everyone use your credit card or use your C pass to buy everything, and I guess they bill you later on. I've never been on a cruise. This makes me not want to go on a cruise even more because a lot of people disappear when they're on cruise ships. You know. Um, Also, how she, yeah, she just never was reported getting off the boat at any of the stops. There was like 5 or 6 stops. Um, Never reported getting off the boat at any time. Huh. There was like 5 stops that they did. Um, and she never got off the boat. Well, they don't have any witnesses saying that they saw her get off the boat. So then, where did this lady go? Um, so the person who investigated her case, or who was investigating her case, and the cruise ship's officials, they had concluded that she committed suicide. But the family is just like so adamant that she would never do anything like that. I guess she was the type that's like, yeah, like me, like Daniel and I, like we love life. Like if something like that happens, we didn't do it. That's not us. Never, never would do that. So I would assume the family knows her better. But then again, she did go through a nasty divorce. She had a mental breakdown, and see this is where it kind of like goes up in the air. It's like could it go either way? She could just be pushing those emotions down, and she did this and decided to just get it over with. Maybe she did jump off the boat, but I feel like if you jump off the boat, somebody might hear a splash or something, or you know, um, again, I don't know how. I mean, I don't know how people would hear somebody just jump off a boat and land in the water. It's depending on what time of day or night it is, and I'm sure there's noises from the ocean and stuff, so you might not even hear it. So one thing that I did find interesting that was said, and I want to hold it to the end because it was pretty interesting. So one night, she had apparently it was reported that one night she had ordered room service. She ordered 2 sandwiches, which was reportedly the last time anyone would see or hear from her. So she ordered these 2 sandwiches. They said it took about 15 minutes for them to make them and get them to her room. It took them about 15 minutes. They went, so obviously she called. They went and they took them to the room, and I don't know what do you call those people that work on the boat? I don't know. He's anyway the cabin boy or whatever delivers them to her. She opens the door. She takes them. Thank you. They exchange pleasantries, whatever. The next morning, when they came by to get her dishes, they knocked on her cabin door, and there was no answer. The employee of the ship continued to knock a few more times, and I guess they have keys to get into the cabins if need be, right? So in case something happens, maybe it was an elderly couple or someone fell or someone forgot their key, they could call this person and say, "Hey, I need to get in my cabin. Can you open the door for me?" Whatever, whatever. So this was apparently was an emergency because this Merrian Lynn ordered these sandwiches. They came to get it. They knocked. She didn't answer. Nobody reported her leaving the room. So he probably might have thought, "Oh, what if something happened to her?" So the employee of the ship knocked a few more times. Then after he let himself in, and upon entering her room, he reported as saying how strange the room looked. Her bed had not been slept in, which was odd, obviously, because she was staying there. She stayed the night because she brought the sandwiches, but both of the sandwiches were gone, completely eaten, nothing was left. 2 empty plates. And supposedly there was from this cabin boy. I guess from him working on, I guess her room fell in his area of where he was working. So he gets to talk to everybody. So he got to talking to her. I guess they kind of struck up a little friendship or something. Supposedly, there was $107 laying on the desk in her room, and a note next to it. And the note had his name on it. Her bags were next to the table in the room in an envelope, but strangely enough, the Royal Caribbean has never said what exactly was in the envelope. So there's an envelope in there. The cruise ship has it. I don't know. It wasn't said very clearly whether the family got it. I don't think the family got it because they haven't said that they got this envelope. And the cruise line says they're not even saying what was in it. And supposedly the guy, the cam boy, the $107 was for him. There was a note with that and had his name on it. What the note says, nobody knows. So where did the sandwiches go? Where did Mary Lynn go? And did she meet somebody? And my theory is she probably met somebody and they boarded the ship. They secretly, obviously, and she probably just wanted to get everything over. I don't think she killed herself. I think she ran off with somebody. They got off somewhere at one destination, and she's probably living somewhere and maybe just didn't want to. That would be a happy ending. But if she had a mental breakdown and she just couldn't take it anymore, maybe she did just jump off the boat. And she's just like, it's too much, and I barely see my kid. She's probably just depressed. So, I don't know what to think. I'm kind of on the fence of what was going on. But, you guys come out and give me your theories of what you think, and, let me know something. Give me answers. I want to know. So, anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Don't worry. Daniel and I will be back together for the main podcast. This is just a little side quest stories that we do. Join us. Throw your little comments in there Don't forget to like it, whatever. Do what you guys got to do. All right. See you guys next time. Thank you for joining me. Peace.